Hello, Duncan from T3 here again, and this is Sidekick Spencer Hart.
Hey.
We are the lifestyle team at T3. And this week we're talking about CES in
Yes,
Las Vegas.
we are.
I've just come back where, as you can see, I was so successful, I was able to buy a coat made of gold with my winnings.
Crowned the king of Vegas.
I was crowned the king of Vegas. What did you make of CES this year? What did you make of CES in general?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent year. There's lots
Solid.
of curios, lots of interesting little things. It wasn't a revolutionary.
Well,
year.
yeah, there's seldom anything truly revolutionary at CES, but if you do like lots and lots and lots of tech, some of which is quite weird, some of which is massive tellies, and
A lot of it was wearables.
Yeah, wearable this year. The wearable was the hot story at CES this year. It was the most searched for and hashtagged and sort of socialed about term this year,
Oh, yeah.
which seems quite odd. No, actually, I tell a lie, it was smartwatches. But anyway, wearables in general, very popular, and Internet of Things. So, what was your favourite things from CES?
I'd say my favourite thing was the Casio Android Wear watch.
All right.
It's,
Well,
it's
that's a
quite a
smartwatch,
surprise.
so bang on
Yes,
trend.
yes, it
What
was.
did you like about it? Because that was kind of like a sort of G-Shock-esque watch, but it was an Android Wear watch. A bit like the Tag Heuer thing
Yeah,
we
well,
talked about before.
we've seen a lot of Android Wear smartwatches, and they are generally
Same.
identical. Yeah, even the Tag Heuer watch is in a different casing, but the functionality is the same, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
The Casio, it does something a bit different. It has some environmental sensors, doesn't it? It has a barometer for people who like going outdoors. It has
But
the
like, my mum's got a barometer, and she taps it and goes, "Oh, it's going to rain later. We better call off the picnic."
Yep.
So presumably that's what the Casio one's for.
Yep.
What else has got in it? Thermometer, isn't it?
Is it?
Again, my
Yeah.
mum's got a thermometer. It's next to the barometer.
Maybe she'd love this watch.
Maybe she would. She likes walking. What would you say is the killer feature of this watch, Spence?
The battery life.
Very good.
Yes. It's you can turn off all smart functions essentially, and it will last longer than a normal smartwatch, which
Yeah, which in a way is genius. And then you
Yeah.
think about it, and it's like, yeah, I've shelled out for this smart Android Wear watch, so I'll just turn off all of that functionality and use it a bit like any old digital watch.
yeah. Well, when you say it like that, it's not such a great idea, is it?
But yeah, people are always moaning about the battery life on these things, and obviously it is aimed at kind of rugged outdoor types.
Yeah.
So if you do find yourself like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, lost in the wild and being molested by a bear, you've got to watch. You can eke out the battery life for longer as you try and track down and kill Tom Hardy.
Yeah. So
Apologies for anyone who hasn't seen that film.
So that was my favourite thing at CES this year. What was yours, Duncan?
Well, there were lots of good things, but I did like the Garmin Varia Vision, which is sort of heads-up display for cyclists.
Like Google Glass.
Yeah, it's kind of like Google Glass. If you're a kind of mammal kind of guy, then you just strap it on along with your sort of stupid tights for men and
Bum bag.
your bum bag, your various other bits and bobs. And it kind of, like any HUD, it projects information into your eye line and tells you things like, there's a one-way street, you could cycle down there, or why not mount the pavement here, or jump this red light. You don't have to obey the rule.
Brilliant.
You're a cyclist, do what you like. Move this pedestrian down.
Yeah, because it also links with other Garmin products, doesn't
Yes,
it?
rather cannily on Garmin's part. It also ties in with their range of cycle computers, so you can see how fast you're going, your heart rate, all that kind of gubbins. And they also, interestingly, because in a way you might think it's a bit distracting having something that's in your eye line all the time. So to get round this, you can link it to Garmin's bike radar. So rather than looking around like any normal person would do, you just the radar actually tells you about impending sort of vehicles coming up behind and to the side of you. So
Yeah.
it actually comes up as little alerts in your eye line,
That's very smart, isn't it?
which is quite clever. You do look like a bit of a dick wearing it, I think. But if you're a properly kitted out cyclist, you already look kind of like a sort of futuristic cyber dick. So this is just one more part of your kind of cutting edge dick arsenal.
So they were our favourite things at this year's CES. What would you like to see next year?
Self-driving cars. Well, self-driving cars were at this year's CES, but they're in their infancy, let's say, and they're kind of they move very tentatively, and it's all very. What I'd like to see is a more, I suppose, the sports version of self-driving car,
Yeah.
where it drives at terrifying speed, and you're just sat there like, ah! That would be my idea of an exciting bit of tech.
Okay.
And what about you, Spence? What do you want to see?
I'd like to see more integrated smart home kits. So
Things.
yeah, so we saw the
Internet of Things was big this year.
yeah,
There's a
we
lot of
saw
that stuff.
the smart fridge from Samsung had a camera in it, so you could check up on how much milk you've
The
got
state of
left
your milk.
in Tesco's.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see more stuff like that. Maybe a sofa that kind of tells you when you've been sitting down too long.
What, and just kind of rears up?
Yeah,
One of those beds that folds up and sort of just hurls you out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Why not?
I'd love to see that as well, yeah. Living the dream. Fantastic. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing and liking, and see you next week.